Failed to schedule stream on some destinations. I think we are live. Yeah, we're on the parade. Huh, it's been a while. Good to be live streaming again. So today, I want to introduce you to Elle Kersey of EK. Let me take that down and let me tell you a little bit about Elle Kersey before I bring her up here. So, Elle Kersey, a master in community and customer engagement in a world where connections matter more than ever. They really do. Elle Kersey has made it her mission to help businesses build communities that thrive. As the founder of EK Media Broadcast Network, Lux Maverick Incorporated, and a seasoned marketing innovator, Elle brings over 25 years of experience in marketing, customer engagement, and digital strategy. She has mastered the art of meeting customers where they are, leveraging cutting edge digital tools, crafting personalized experiences, and fostering relationships that drive long term success. Her expertise spans industries. That's true. You're going to find out why or how in a minute. Helping businesses of all sizes create communities, engage, inspire, and endure. So, in this exclusive session, this introductory interview with Elle Kersey, Elle will share how to create inclusive and personalized community experiences, proven strategies for enhancing engagement and retention, the power of listening to your audience and adapting in real time, practical tips for building lasting connections that fuel business growth. So, after all of that, let me bring up Elle Kersey.
Dang, girl. I should need to pay you more money for that.
It's an honor to have you back on the Talk Virtual live stream show. I know it's been a minute.
Yes,
So, how's
yes.
your day been so far?
It has been amazing today.
Right. If you guys don't remember Elle from any of the past live shows, I gotta tell you, she works all the time. There's not a day I haven't seen or heard from her where she is not working. It's good to catch her and be able to talk to her live. So, I think I've already said this, but let's welcome Elle Kersey. If I had my soundboard hooked up, I would have been like,
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate being here.
all right, let's jump in. Let me start with this first question: how to create a personalized and inclusive community experience that resonates. What one of my favorite things about you is that when you host events, I know they're like really exclusive. So people got to know you to get in. And when you outside looking in, when I see you with your community, you've built them through being exclusive. So please share more.
Well, most of the events that we host are for specific things. I feel like when you take the time to understand what the purpose of your event is, then you kind of automatically know who you want to, who should be there. You know, you want to be able to make connections yourself. You want the people who attend to be able to make connections. You want it to be relevant and not uncomfortable.
So what's the point of being there? Who's going to meet when you're there? And I've already said purpose. So yeah, that does make sense. You don't want to hang out people that's not going to help you move forward. And if you can't help them, they can't help you. There's not really a point being there. So I think I understand that.
Yeah, I try really hard to not do things just for the sake of doing them. You know, it's just I don't want to waste my time and I don't want to waste other people's time. Um, You know, you don't want to have a bunch of startups with a bunch of seasoned people unless the purpose is to um, help the new businesses to grow and expand in some way. You know, you want to be able to have people who are on similar trajectories in the room.
I definitely understand that. It's like I had a group where virtual event producers came together. Shout out Virtual Summit Tears Peer Group.
Yeah.
I did have, before I knew I was supposed to vet, I did have a couple people in there that told me that they will never, ever host a virtual event. And like, why are you here? And it's like, it's fun to hang out. I'm like, it'd be nice if you could contribute to the group. But now I know I'm supposed to vet people.
Yes. I mean, it just, you know, it's just, first of all, the people who are never going to host an event really take up space when they should be in a different group. It's
Yeah,
just that the people that's in the Summer Tiers is awesome. So they just want to
I
hang out
believe
with us.
that. Okay, next question. Proven techniques for leveraging digital tools to enhance engagement and retention. So in the virtual summiteers, we all talk about our SaaS tools, uh, digital tools, things that get us hyped and get us going. And my personal favorite is automation. Could you tell us some of your tools you use for community, or if you use any at all?
I use a lot of video tools, whether they are uh, like now, like in person, same time, or if they are um, those where you send somebody a link and they make you a video and then you respond to the video, you know, that kind of thing, and then it's all recorded. I like to have people be comfortable in what they use. So we also do a lot of writing. Um, give people a lot of chances to write things like testimonials or ask questions or things like that. So we use a lot of email, I guess, is a thing. And then forms. We use a lot of Google Forms.
I do enjoy your video testimonials. The happiness that I see that you've brought people. You see that glow of happiness. So you can't really get that from the written testimonial. That's why I really love that the video testimonial.
Yeah, I like that as well. I never get to well, let me say this. Until recently, I never watched the videos, right? I just felt like, you know, I had already done the work and I'm working on the next person. So I'm excited, you know, I'm glad to see that people sent testimonials because a lot of our testimonials were impromptu. There were a few that we did, like what we did for the USFL, that were produced, but most of them were at the end of a treatment or at the end of a game, or people send it in on their own, you know. Um, but so my team used to get them. They knew, but I didn't. And when I saw them, I was crying a few times because I had no idea that not only were we impacting their game, but we were also impacting their lives. And I think that was the most poignant thing for me. So um, by watching those videos and understanding really the relevance and the impact caused me to um, uh, change direction a little bit, because again, it's that getting to know your audience and giving them what they need, and a lot of times people don't know what they need until they get it. So
So nosy, I gotta ask. I've heard that testimonials really don't do anything for the business. Is that true? Have you found that to be true for your business? Is it something I should be looking into and be doing more of? Do I need to ask for more testimony?
I think that testimonials kind of, I'm saying, how can I explain that? Testimonials don't give that, how can I say this? So, when you first start out in marketing and they're like, you need testimonials so that people can see that you have history or whatever, whatever, whatever. And that's not really what testimonials are for, in my opinion. Testimonials are for people to connect with the stories of the people that are telling the stories. And when you see yourself in somebody's story, then you're like, well, maybe this could help me too. So it's a way to give people hope, especially in this business, right? So people don't really get to me until they have suffered for pretty much a really long time. I mean, now it's a little different because we have the testimonials, right? Which is kind of funny, but people are constantly looking at our testimonials and seeing someone who had a similar situation, say a torn ACL, and the ACL is simply not allowing them to move forward. The scar tissue is so bad and the pain is so out of control, and nothing that they've been doing is working, and they've gone to extremes to try to recover, and it hasn't helped. And then they see somebody who did the same thing, and then that person was helped them back on the field or in the game, and they're happy. Then that gives them hope that it can happen for them too. So then they show up at my door and we help them, and then yes, they get happy.
So that what Elle was just talking about is her business Lux Maverick. So she does more than one thing. So if injured, she can help you through I can't remember what it's called now.
The Maverick method?
The Maverick method and micro
Oh, microcurrent electrical therapy.
yes. She uses the microcurrent therapy. She's developed her own technique called the Maverick method. Is that right?
Yes.
Right. So besides that, the other business she has is EK Media, where she does graphics. She taught herself graphics. She does coding. She taught herself coding. So I had somebody teach me HTML. I can't stand hypertext markup language now. The language I know, and my husband tells me, there's more than one coding language. You don't have to stick with HTML. And I'm like, yeah. What may I ask?
Yeah.
What's your favorite language?
Oh, wait. I don't know if I have a favorite one. It's just the one that's needed for the job is my favorite one at the moment. I do like HTML5. I do. It's not like regular HTML exactly, because you get all the little cheat snippets and stuff. So it's not as complicated as you having to start from scratch. So you might like that a little better.
I tried it a really long while. When I first learned it, I think it was like 2000. So it's been a whole 25 years now.
Oh goodness.
Oh, and there was no, I'm dyslexic, can't spell. And when I tried to put something in there and it wasn't spelled right, it wouldn't work. And I didn't have any spell check to help me. So it was horrible.
Yeah, I mean, coding can be a challenge if you're dyslexic for sure. Um, Mine kicks in when I'm super tired. So, you know, I understand, but it's all about being focused on the details. I think that every skill that I've learned over the years has built on other things. You know, being
I can see
able
that.
to, yeah, being able to focus on coding language and making sure that every little single character is corrected in the right space and you got enough spaces and all that kind of stuff just kind of leads to everything else. It really has made a big difference in a lot of things. I find myself not necessarily using coding as every day, but I use the skills that I learned from learning to code. You know, I'll say this for all of my techie people, quote, save is your friend.
I believe that. That's a true statement right there.
Yes, yes. So, yeah.
Okay, next question. The importance of listening to your audience and adapting to their needs in real time. So I've been told from a fellow virtual summiteer, um, it's not, they come to the meetings because of what the group has talked about. They come to the meetings because of something I have put together. So do you crowdsource your events? Do you crowdsource any meetings you put together, or do you just do your own thing and people come there because it's you?
Combination. People
Okay.
come because it's me and they know that I've taken the time to put the details together and I am bringing value. Um, whether it's I'm giving you an opportunity to donate to something that you would definitely love, or you're able to connect with different people that can help your brand, that you can help their brand, um, different opportunities to just grow, or just people that I think that will like each other. Like that's just a thing, right? So not everything's about the financial exchange, it's the altruistic things as well. So I really focus on, again, not having events that don't that that doesn't have a purpose.
Yeah, I've met so many cool, nice, brilliant people through hanging out with Elle, going to her events. She threw a birthday party for her boyfriend Phil, and it was so cool because I got to meet people that I never would have met if I didn't attend this party. She hosted when you were doing jewelry. Elle, I don't know if you know this, if I've told you lately, you are still my favorite jewelry maker. That last party you hosted when you made jewelry, I got to meet so many cool people. You have events online, me getting to help you meet people that way. It's like, I don't know, it's great to know people that know people. It's good to have friends, and it's good to meet people through people know what they're doing, what they want of what they're doing. So yeah,
For sure.
it's like you're a connector. I'll say that.
Maybe, I don't know. I just I gotta think about that some more. I don't know about being a connector. But lately I have been doing some connecting, so a little bit. I agree.
So, going back to the beginning, you hosting exclusive events. People don't get in unless they know you. So I get to meet people because I know you tell me you don't like to meet people, but when you do meet people, I get to meet people. So
Yeah.
works out for me. One more. Let's see. Practical tips for maintaining lasting connections that lead to business success. So, since I know you, I happen to know, in my personal opinion, that you go to a church that's more like a business connection. That's how I see it outside looking in. So,
Oh,
tell us about you and your lasting connections and all of that stuff.
well, I think that lasting connections are based on authenticity. You just have to be yourself, and the people who connect with you naturally will connect with you naturally. I feel like when you try to be a cloud chaser or a ladder climber, and it just doesn't pan out well. Um, but when you are really and truly authentically wanting to be in the room and you have the right energy and you have something to contribute and you're going to take something away, you're going to become a better person because of it, then that's a good um, environment. Because being able to nurture and support, because you can't just be a taker and you can't just be a giver. It has to be balanced there. Let's see. As far as my church goes, my church is great because most of the people who have been to that attend my church go because we've been, you know, I guess it's a bad word to say, but hurt by church. Some people, when you want to authentically be yourself, trying to fit into the mold of church exactly, doesn't really fit when you feel like you want to have a relationship with the Lord and you want to um, follow what He's given you versus, you only can have, the music can only play for X amount of time, or only certain people can um, be part of the ministry. And I'm not talking about like the pulpit ministry, just like even, going out handing out flyers. Well, I've seen churches where, if you don't look a certain way, you can't go be part of the street ministry. If you don't contribute enough money, you can't be part of any of the ministries. So, our church is very, our pastor is definitely extremely innovative and tapped into whatever the Lord has going on. And we always wait for confirmation and all that kind of stuff. So it's not that typical, I would say, hierarchy of this things being made. It has to be a certain way because we've always done it that way.
That makes sense. These questions I have written down. They're in my hand, and I just wanted to ask, could you clarify what community is for you? Because for me, it's just getting to meet and know people and working with them. So would you clarify what community is for you?
Well, we in preparing for this, I feel like community is just exactly that. It's, we always talk about people being community leaders and people doing community activities and things like that. And so I never really thought thought about community any differently than that till we came to this process. And so I feel like community is not necessarily the whole, neighborhood, right? It's like you and your two neighbors. That's community. Um, because you guys have to get along because you share a property line, right? Um, you have community, in your church, you have community but even within the church, people always say about cliques and this and this and that. Well, it's just natural for people who have obvious um, connection points to connect, not to the exclusion of other people, but just in general, that's just natural. Um, but you always need to make sure that you're growing your connections and that you're not being like trying to dilute the definition of community.
Yeah. So how do you get new people into your community?
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit.
How do you get new people into your community?
Hmm.
Looking for the secret sauce. But everybody doesn't get to hang out with Elle Kersey. I know
That's
that. And I do feel that I got in. So
oh
what's the
man.
secret?
What's the secret? Authenticity. I mean, that's really just really the truth. It's just um at different points in your life, you're at different levels of authenticity. You really are. You are in because you don't know yourself, um, or you haven't taken the time to, I don't know, or you haven't had the time. You're somebody's mom, you're somebody's friend, you're somebody's daughter, you're somebody's kid, whatever, and you haven't had the time or the opportunity to get to know yourself. So your level of authenticity is different after you've done the work to figure out who you really are, right? And the people that's around you and the things that you're involved in help to mold who you become, right? So um, I think that that's just really critical. Um, so for me, it's just if I don't find you to be it's your values are right. So if that makes sense. So for me, my values are loyalty, honesty, and doing what you say that you're going to do.
Mhm.
Right. So that's for me. Those are my big three. Like you can't. People always talk about forgiveness and stuff, and so yes, I can forgive you, but I'm not going to never let you back in my circle.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, because I figure, if you do it, I'm going to do it again. So, I
That's
mean, why set
possible.
myself up? No, why set myself up for just,
The saying that goes, people tell you who they are. It's up to you to listen.
yes, for sure. And I don't know. I just feel like I would, let me see, I'm from the city, right?
Mhm.
I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And the the hood is the hood, right? And I don't want to put myself in a situation where I I end up going back to my old self. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, I feel like I do it for my own protection and the protection of others.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Now, see, for the key message, I wanted to know, were there any specific points you wanted our audience to remember about you and community? So earlier you had said things like focus, goals, redefining recovery, and the other side of adversity. So I know those were like vague bullet points, but if you could tell us more about the specific points you want us to remember uh, from this interview today.
Wow, Erica. Okay, so we'll use my current community example, and it'll hopefully help you remember kind of how this works. So, the current community that I am focused on being a part of, I had to do a lot of getting to know the community first. So, the people that I knew that were part of the community, so this is professional athletes, um, really top athletes at every level. So we're looking at like high school students that are going to go into, um, the whole college situation, trying to, everybody wants to go D1 schools and stuff. And then the college kids that are going into the common, and then possibly to pros, um, and so forth. So there's like a lot of nuance in this situation that I had no idea of. And if you're not there having somebody to walk you through and explain all the different little nuances and things, you'll miss things and you'll make assumptions that will um, cause you social faux pas, right? So I really didn't want um, to do that, and it's the same situation as you have in any business environment. So whether you're trying to become part of like your county um, business community or your church business community, right? You have to understand their purpose and all. So that's point one. So that's your focus. Your focus is, who are you wanting to talk to authentically? Like, you're not trying to jump into the situation because you want to be hobnobbing with people, right? You genuinely need to have something that you're bringing to the table for this community. And so, what I actually did for the sports community is I created a faster way to recover, because injuries happen all across every sport, and a way for them to, for individual players to increase their athletic valuation. Now, those are two really big, huge things. There's a few other things that we do, but those are two really big things, because there's no place else, or no other place. There you go. No other place that's possible other than with us. So we have a big thing that we want to deliver to the community. We aren't trying to just go into the community because we want to be hanging out with them and stuff like that. I don't like to hang out with people anyway, so that's not so that's not motivation. Okay, so then once now you're looking at, okay, so you're authentically wanting to take part in something, and the reason why is because you have something to offer, and you also have something that you want to gain. Now that could be multiplicity of things, but And for me, it's being able to see um, the younger athletes that are, when they get injured, that are left out in the cold. There's no more accolades, there's no more attaboys, there's no more people around. It's like everybody just evaporated because you're no longer in place to be able to be part of that. And so when I saw that, it really broke my heart. And then I saw a lot of the younger players, like, you're a senior in college and you get injured, and you have been told since you were 3 years old that you're going to go to the pros. Well, you spend a lot of time. Like, one guy told me it was like 5 years that he spent in depression. So, there's a lot of psychological issues and things that happen along the journey of these athletes. So that is what my motivation is for wanting to be part of this community, or what I get out of it. So what I've done is I've created an environment where injured players can come and get recovered really quickly. They can so if you get a sprain, for example, it takes average 43.5 days to recover. If you come to us, it's like 2.75 days for you to recover. And that's not where, a lot of times after you get a sprain, you are out for X amount of time. The doctor's like, okay, you can go back. But when you go back, it's still sore, still, it's still weak or what have you, but not with us. You go back and you're fully regenerated, and you're able to continue on with your play probably better than before you got injured. So that's typically what we do. So we are bringing like big value, right, to this situation. So that's how we create community, by really finding a place where you authentically fit, where you are looking to give and to get, and you're looking to solve problems that aren't being solved otherwise.
I did have one more question on here that I wanted to display. Practical tip or main lasting connections. Did I already say that one that lead to business success?
I think you said it, but we didn't talk about it. I think that's really, I mean, that's still, I mean, everything I'm thinking about is just being authentic, right? So you are your ability to be yourself is the thing that's going to allow you to make connections with people that last. You know, I met a lot of people that, on the surface, we have nothing in common. And if you see us together, you're like, what? But, you know, people don't know everybody's story, right? And you can't see that from the surface, because I am a super nerd. I am a super nerd. I mean, there are definitely people who are more nerdy than me, and I love to sit um, under their conversations and listen to all the things that they have to say, because I find them fascinating. But for the average person, I am definitely a super nerd, and I also, but I like fashion, and I travel, and I like, and it's not to say that super nerds don't like all those things, but typically, people are gonna try to put you in a box. So you have to not let other people determine, and that's really what I'm saying by, I mean, that's part of being authentic, is not letting other people tell you who you should know and who you should talk to, and what your value is, right? That's a huge part of your authenticity, is not being defined by what somebody else thinks, right? Who you are and what you are, because they don't know. They don't have no idea.
real, minding your own business, keeping your word, following through. It all,
Mm-hmm.
I got it. So people are going to reach out to you, Elle.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want them to know when they reach out to you? Do you want them to know more about Lux Maverick? Do you want them to know more about EK Media?
I mean, it just depends on, where you are and what you need, If I can be of service, I'm always willing to be of service. EK Media has a lot of um let me see, a lot of opportunity, right, for different people. But what we do with EK Media is we support other people's digital goals. So if you are a person, or you're a brand, I guess, that is looking to, get your content onto, professional platforms, and that's a whole other thing. It's all about knowing where you want to go, what knowing the difference in nuance. Nuance is everything. So you people are like, oh, I want to go viral on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, right? And YouTube. Those are all amateur platforms. And yeah, they're trying to compete in different ways with um, the professional platforms, but it's just they're different creatures. And then you have the way we produce podcasts, the way we do all the different things that we've done over the years. It's not for the um I want to say this, but it's not for the fake notoriety of it all, right? It's not about trying to have a lot of likes just for the sake of having likes, and not, huh?
Because you can't cash in the likes. But if
Exactly.
you don't
But
want to cash them in, just let me know.
I mean, you can cash them in a way, because you can do certain things because you have a lot of likes, but it's not sustainable, right? And it's also not going to mm, get you the type of longevity. And I guess the well, longevity is the same thing, but you're not able to create the longevity that you would need to have a good and to grow beyond just having a podcast or having a social media page or something like that.
Okay. But I'm nosy, so I gotta ask: is a way of cashing in the likes, because I want to do this? Is it by getting sponsorships, partnerships, collaborations? People want to maybe partner with you. Is that a way? Because that's where I went.
There is a way. That is definitely a way, but the thing is like by the time, okay, by the time you hear things like that, that so and so and all these different people have gotten brand deals with these, they're over. It's done. And then people become clout chasers, okay, because they're trying to um, do what so and so did and get a brand deal. And a lot of times brand deals aren't money. They're just, you get free stuff. Like, can I just have the money?
I've had that happen. Sometimes you do get some cool stuff. I like to be the first ones with that new. So that's a little bit of clout, but it's not money. I understand what you're saying.
I mean, the whole point of doing all that is so that you can get the money to buy the stuff that you want or need, not just getting a free eyeshadow. And it's like the cost of the eyeshadow is not even any near gonna cover the cost of doing a ad.
I want to say it's possible that I could have been making money there, but instead I've just been collecting them.
Well, I mean, the thing is if you have good content and you're collecting likes based on the value of your content and people engaging with your content, then that's different than just taking a video of your hiney. Not unless you're selling underwear.
Okay. I'm trying to bring this up, this up to let people know that and let me bring up that uh, banner so you'll know what to look for. So when I finally put out the okay. So let me take that down and bring us back. Elle, tell everyone where they can reach out to you.
You can always reach me on LinkedIn or my team's on Instagram. I'm on there sometimes, but I don't really understand it so much. So I every time I go on there, all I get to see is girls' heinies, and I'm just kind of like, I don't want to see that. It does. It's funny. I tried to change our algorithm and everything, and my team sees all the different sports stuff. Every time I go on there, I just see girls' heinies. I was like, man, y'all can show me some boys' heinies or something. Why not? It's got to be girls.
Hilarious.
I'm for real.
Okay,
So crazy.
everybody, you can connect with Elle on LinkedIn, and you can also find her on Instagram. She doesn't want to see your backside. If you want to hear her speak again, join us live on Zoom February 7th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 7 a.m. Pacific. I know that's early for everybody on the Pacific Coast. 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern. And she's going to be talking about engage to elevate, building communities that drive success. See, thank you for your time. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, y'all.